I'm going to say something bold. If you've never spent a day without looking at your phone, you're missing a big part of the beauty of life. If you've never spent a day in solitude without external inputs like social media, podcasts, TV, music, video games, or whatever else, there's part of your own brain you haven't met yet. Last weekend, I drove out of town to a secluded treehouse for a solo meditation retreat. The plan was simple. No talking, no screens, no music. Aside from some reading I had to do for school, which conveniently was about meditation and the nature of consciousness, my only inputs were my own thoughts and the sights and sounds of my surroundings. The schedule was simple. I arrived around 5 in the evening and stayed until 11 the next morning. I planned 4 30-minute meditation sessions, and in between those sessions, I read, stretched, and prepared simple meals. Sitting in stillness for hours is an unimaginable contrast to our daily lives. Life is a flood of noise, images, information. When you disconnect from all of the input, your mind rebels like it's withdrawing from a drug. If you can wait out the restlessness, boredom, and anxiety, something magical happens. You shift into a slower gear. Details come into focus. You experience more. You see, hear, smell, feel, and taste more, but not because your senses are elevated or you're somehow experiencing a hidden mystical layer of reality. Instead, like a snow globe whose flurry has settled, you're able to see things the way they always are. No longer drowned out by everything louder competing for your attention, you're able to see ordinary reality more clearly, and it's captivating. Imagine you're taking an evening walk. You pass a home and through the window you see someone playing piano, but you can't hear Bach's Prelude in C because the traffic drowns out the melody. You walk past a jasmine bush in full bloom, but you can't smell it because it's right next to a food truck churning out burgers and fries. You look up at the sky and you don't see the stars because of the streetlights. These things aren't intrinsically bad, but they're so loud and bright that they block out the subtler beauty that's always there. Maybe a better metaphor is candy. If you eat a lot of candy, you won't be able to taste the sweetness of a strawberry. It doesn't mean that the strawberry isn't sweet, just that you can't taste it because you are so accustomed to the exaggerated sweetness of sugar. Going on a meditation retreat recalibrates your senses. Strawberries begin to taste really good. I spent much of this retreat staring down my own consciousness, watching how my mind works. Meditation seems simple. Sit, pay attention to the breath, and when thoughts arise, redirect attention back to the breath. This is where it gets tricky. If you're new to the practice, minutes will go by where you've completely forgotten that you were supposed to be attending to your breath. The distracting thought will cover your entire mind like a blanket. You won't even know that you're thinking. It gets easier though. Every time you redirect focus back to the breath, it's like you're putting in a rep at the gym. You build up the muscle of being able to focus on the object of your choosing. The key insight: you don't author or choose most of your thoughts. They pop into awareness on their own. Oftentimes, they are reactions to external circumstances that have nothing to do with you. Sometimes they are purely imaginative and untethered to reality. They are extremely discursive, bouncing from topic to unrelated topic, often contradicting themselves. Sometimes they are a cruel commentary on your life and your abilities. Other times, they spit out judgments about others. They play off of and feed into your desires and fears. They are also completely flimsy. If you stare down your thoughts, placing them at the center of your attention, they vanish. Thinking has its place, for sure, but it can paint a false picture of yourself, others, and the nature of reality. Why does any of this matter? Consider that there has never been, and there will never be, an experience or an interaction with another that won't pass through the filter of your mind. Meditation has the effect of cleaning debris from the filter. It helps you see reality more clearly because it gives you a view that's unobstructed by your thoughts. You'll still be thinking, to be sure, but it becomes less likely that you'll be smothered by the blanket of a thought that either isn't true or doesn't serve you. To be honest, this retreat was much too short, and I spent half of the time setting up shots for this video. But it still reinvigorated my conviction that this practice is invaluable to my sense of well-being. You don't need to go on a 10-day Vipassana retreat to start or benefit from a meditation practice. You don't need to go on a retreat at all. In fact, consistently spending the in-between moments, like waiting for your coffee to brew or standing in line to check out at the grocery store, spending these moments concentrating on your breath and taking in your immediate surroundings probably does much more to clean the filter of your mind than long stretches of meditation done inconsistently. Usually, I end my videos with a call to action. Like, comment, subscribe, because it cues the YouTube algorithm to show this video to more people. but let's change that up today. If you like this video, close your computer or put down your phone, make a cup of tea, sit outside for a few moments, and if you have a dog, definitely pet your dog. I'll see you next time.